Speeding drivers cause 26% of fatal crashes, yet one split-second choice prevented disaster. Every year, speed-related crashes kill over 3,000 people in the United States alone. That's not a statistic, that's thousands of families changed forever. And yet millions of drivers do exactly what this one did: press the accelerator just a little harder, convince themselves they have the situation under control, and unknowingly join those grim numbers. This particular driver was no different. Going faster than the posted limit, confident in their abilities, completely unaware that the next few seconds would test everything they thought they knew about reaction time, vehicle control, and pure survival instinct. They were gambling with odds they didn't even realize they were playing. The moment everything changed happened in less than a second. The driver was cruising down the highway, maintaining that elevated speed, when a vehicle ahead suddenly braked without warning. There was no gradual slowdown, no gentle deceleration, just a wall of red brake lights appearing in an instant. In that frozen moment, the driver's brain had to process what was happening, calculate the distance, and decide whether to brake or swerve. The elevated speed made everything worse. At higher velocities, stopping distance increases exponentially, not linearly. This driver should have needed an extra 50 feet to stop safely compared to driving at the speed limit. But something kicked in. Pure instinct. The driver's hands gripped the wheel, foot slammed on the brake, and the vehicle began to decelerate hard. The tires gripped the asphalt, and the car slowed just enough to avoid a collision. What could have been a multi-vehicle pileup, potentially fatal for the driver and others on the road, became a near-miss. The driver's reflexes, combined with the vehicle's braking capability, created a razor-thin margin between disaster and survival. It wasn't skill alone that saved the day, it was the combination of an alert mind and a body that reacted faster than conscious thought could calculate. That split-second decision, made without time to overthink, was the only thing standing between life and tragedy. Here's what separated this outcome from tragedy: the driver didn't make excuses. They didn't blame the road, the weather, or bad luck. Instead, they looked in the mirror and said, "I was going too fast." That admission matters more than you'd think. Most people involved in close calls do the opposite. They rationalize. They say the speed limit was too conservative, or everyone drives like that, or they were just keeping up with traffic. Those mental shortcuts feel protective in the moment, but they're actually dangerous. They prevent you from learning. When you deny your role in a near miss, you don't change your behavior the next time. You repeat the same pattern until luck runs out. This driver, though, chose accountability. They recognized their speed elevated the risk, even though they reacted well. That honesty rewires your brain. It makes you hyper-aware of your actual limits instead of your perceived invincibility. Safety experts call this honest self-assessment, and it's the foundation of developing genuine survival instincts. You can't improve what you won't acknowledge. Every close call is a free lesson if you're willing to admit what you did wrong. This driver learned it. And that mindset shift, from denial to recognition, is exactly what keeps people alive on roads where conditions change in fractions of a second. Here's what separates the survivors from the statistics: reaction time. Professional drivers, the ones trained in high-speed scenarios, consistently prove that a fraction of a second can mean everything. When that obstacle appeared ahead of our driver, they had maybe half a second to respond. Their brain had to register the threat, their hands had to move to the wheel, their foot had to find the brake. All of that happened in roughly 750 milliseconds. But here's the critical part: that reaction only worked because they were mentally present. They weren't distracted by a phone, weren't lost in thought, weren't checking a passenger. Their awareness was already engaged. Safety experts call this situational focus, and it's trainable. The more aware you are, scanning ahead, anticipating problems, keeping your hands ready, the faster your nervous system responds when danger appears. This driver's speed was a liability, absolutely. But their alertness was their lifeline. You can't control every hazard on the road. You can control whether you're mentally ready to handle one when it comes. That split-second advantage is earned through presence, not luck. This driver walked away because they stayed mentally present and reacted instantly. But here's the hard truth: luck runs out. The next time you're tempted to exceed the speed limit, remember that split-second advantage only works once or twice. Stay alert, keep your speed reasonable, and honestly acknowledge when you're pushing limits. Because the next close call might not end as fortunately.